let's talk about learning. That's going to be my main focus of my blog, my new blog that I'm making. Um, I inspired by learning, and that's always going to be a constant in my life. Anyways, I'm an engineering student. I currently just finished my first semester of my third year, and just want to talk about being an engineering student or any student in general. It's quite tough, especially in engineering, since everyone is so there's a certain elitism with engineering students that are, if you're an engineer, you would know what I'm talking about. But everybody kind of, especially when you get to third year or even higher up, everyone is, I feel, really competent. And sometimes it kind of obstructs of someone from learning new things. For example, asking new questions, asking questions in class can be difficult. Sometimes when you have a question, and even though profs encourage you to ask any question in class, and we've all heard the term, no question is a stupid question. But even though we know that, it's still really hard to sometimes ask a question. There is this student in our class who is quite smart academically, and you can tell by all the questions he asks and um, all the questions he asks and the quality of the questions he asks, which is great. But there's something about him that really disturbs me, and because he would always, not always, he would sometimes laugh at the questions other people asks. Like, I mean, the quality of his questions are always great, and it shows his level of understanding of the subject. But when someone else asks a question that are quite, let's say, basic and fundamental, he would laugh and sometimes make a comment or two. And this really bothered me one day because on our last week during a tutorial with the prof, I asked a question which caused him to turn around and make a really smart snorkel at me. And I remember this question clearly because it really hurt me. I remember I asked our prof, is the momentum equation derived from the energy equation? This guy who was sitting right in front of me at the time turned around and laughed in my face. Momentum equation is derived from the momentum. I was really mad and really thrown off. And for the next half an hour, I was not listening to what Prof was saying. I mean, he was trying to answer my question, but I was just so thrown off by the comment this guy made, and it shattered my confidence. So I didn't really learn anything from the prof, and this whole half an hour I was basically just thinking of ways to get back at him and like confront him about it, which I did. And this is what I did. Hey man, what you did there was really rude. And he's like, what? And I'm like, you know what you did. Like, basically, you're smart little snorkel at people when they ask a question. And then he was really shocked. Everybody has their own levels of understanding of the subject, and you should really respect that. And because we're all trying to learn here. And he says, I get that. And I'm like, well, then you should really stop doing your little smart snorkels at people when they ask a question. It really shatters our confidence. and he's just kind of speechless um, and just kind of went red and said, "I'll try." And I tried my best to keep my composure, but this is not an accurate representation of what would really happen because I was a lot more intense. And after I said this to him, I left. So, and I still kind of stand by what I did because, I mean, he would keep doing this to other kids, and every time he does it, I feel like I mean, whether or not the person he was laughing at, reacts or even notice it, it's really insulting. My whole point is that I think everybody should ask questions. I have friends who ask really dumb questions, whether we like to admit it or not. And it's okay because we've all been there. And sometimes, even if you like, I don't want people to not pay attention in class and ask dumb questions that's already been said. But if you're really trying and if you're really trying to learn, no matter what, you don't know what someone has learned. Let's all try to be a little bit more empathetic and understand how everybody is trying to learn. And I just want everybody to respect that. And this definitely applies to me too, because I would sometimes think I have a good understanding of the topic and kind of do a little snorkel myself at some people who's asking really simple questions that to me is really basic. But, to them, it might be really difficult understanding that specific topic. So, yeah, that's my rant for today. This will be my first YouTube video. My channel is going to be called the Smorgasbord. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but it'll be a smorgasbord of learning, and that's really applies to what I'm personally about because I'm really about learning everything and anything. Thank you for watching.